Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how I installed a GPS speedometer on my 2023 Kawasaki Mule 4010 Trans 4x4. That being said, let's go ahead and get started. This is my model for this project, and going here on the driver's side you see the steering wheel, and then down here just to the left of it, if you look down on that bar, there is a zip tie, and you want to clip that off, and that will expose the wiring bundle underneath. You might have to reach in and pull it out, but it'll come out easily. This is the speedometer I'm going to be using for this project. Take it out of the box here. Has directions, which I won't go over because it can be a little confusing, and you'll figure it out. This is the screen. It's only about 2 inches square, and it just clips on the back here. And you've got your little rotary ball and joint where you can tighten it up and mount it where you would like. It's got a suction cup. It also comes with the USB power plug. And then also, if you want to go with a taped down install, it has this little piece here. This is the power port I'm going to be using for this project. Now this one is a surface mount, and this is the faceplate that goes on, and I'm just going to remove it, which means that all I have to do is drill a couple of holes and it's going to sit flat on the surface of the interior of the glove or storage box. And so that means I only have to drill this small hole for these 2 wires to go through, which is one of the reasons why I like using these. And then what this also has is a on-off switch, so when it's not in use I don't have to worry about it drawing any power or anything like that. And then it's got this little flip-up lid here for a USB, and then also for a phone or tablet port jack. So this is going to work out very well. This is the glove box or storage box on the driver's side of the UTV where I'm going to mount that Speedo. And I'm just going to go ahead and mount it on the inside here because it's not marine or waterproof rated. And those are really expensive, and they're really huge, and you have to drill a hole, so I didn't want to do that. And since I'm going to be using this mostly on private property, I just wanted to have the Speedo out of the way in case I needed it if I got out on the street, but I'm not going to need it every day. So it's just going to be mounted in here, and I'll run the wiring up through here. So what I've done is reached under here where the accessory connections are, and this was just tucked up inside here with a zip tie across it, and then I just peeled back the rubber boot that was on it, and there's 3 sets of pairs here. So what I did was I took a multimeter and started playing around with them to find out where my plus and minus voltages were. So I came up with these pairs. The black and yellow wire was a ground, and that was paired with a white and a red wire. And then after I figured out what the pair was, I zip tied those together. The second pair was a yellow with a brown, and that was a ground, with a white, which was the positive 12 volts. And then the final pairing was a green for the negative, and a white and a red for the positive 12 volts. So that's what I'm going to use when I run my speedometer in the glove box section. Okay, so there's something I want to go over here. When I was initially doing the testing with the ignition being in the on position, I had power in all 3 of these pairs that I was checking. So I went to double check, and just to make sure, and so I went to these 2, nothing. These two, nothing. And then this last pair here, I'm going to test it. And I'm getting 12.7 volts. So this pair that I have right here is hot all the time, even with the ignition off. And by turning the ignition on, then all three of these pairs get power. Okay, after testing the circuit to make sure it's going to work, I've hooked up the power port right down here back to my pair from the accessory bundle here, and I've got ignition power. So what I'm going to do is turn the on-off switch on this, and then you should see some blue lighting in there to show that it's getting power. And I can see it. I don't know if you can, but it's in there shining blue. Turn it off. Not anymore. Okay, I have everything wired up now, and I made the connections by twisting, soldering, and then using heat shrink on the extensions. And it uses bullet plugs to plug into the accessory section. So I've got the power ports installed inside the storage box right here, so you can see it. And what I'm going to do is turn the key. Let me open up this little lid here first. You can see it's off because you don't see any lights. And so I'm going to turn the key. So now there's power through the ignition. I'm going to turn the on-off switch. And there you go. You can see the blue lights. So everything works good. All I have to do now is hide the wiring and wrap everything up. Okay, the power ports are already installed inside this driver's side glove or storage box, and I've connected the GPS speedometer inside. So let's just open this up, and you can see it in there. And because the inside of this box is so slick, I was able to use the suction cup part of it. So now I'm going to go ahead and turn the ports on because I already have my ignition on, and you'll see the speedo fire up. As you can hear, I've got the motor running, and there's my time in there, and I'm going to test the speedo out. And I am wearing a seatbelt, and this is a closed community, so I'm not worried about traffic while I'm doing this. So let's see what we get. I'm going to go into high, and let's go. Just as it's supposed to. And when it goes to 0, it goes back to the current time. So that's it. If you have any questions, please leave them for me in the comments. Thank you.